So yeah, $30 for a movie. I think you get way more content out of a game, and I think a lot more goes into making a game than does to make a movie. Probably. That's probably right. Enjoy better. Yeah, they're also longer, right? So like this, like even even the shortest game that's very cinematic and like a movie is like 4 times longer than a movie, right? So I think that's why I kind of like RPGs. First of all, I do like the gameplay and strategy of RPGs. Yeah, but then they're just long movies, which I really like. And it's kind of like okay, I'm gonna compare it to food. Like goldfish, like I buy the big container, right? Why do I buy the big container? Because I don't finish it in one sitting. Well, RPGs, I usually can't beat an RPG in one day. So it's like super worth my money. Alright. Rending Titan Fangs and Paralyzed Thing. I wanna go try the Queen Bee. That's what I want to try. Before we try the Mantis, I want to try the Queen Bee. And I need to go get some rending. The rending things are back on the wedge. I need to fight the boomies.
Finally. If only we could have flown with the wind to get here faster.
You gotta limit yourself? I don't like to limit myself. I like seeing what's happening next and play it like a movie. I think people limit themselves so they don't get burnt out. But I don't get burnt out until the game is over. As long as the game is still going with new content, I don't get burnt out. Cock off, wow. I mean, it's any game. As soon as I beat the game and I'm replaying it, a lot of times I have a hard time finishing my replay. Because I've already seen it and I remember it a lot of times. I have a good memory, which is kind of bad when you're trying to go back and play games. Because I like playing games blind. That's my favorite thing, is to play the game blind. If I beat a game, the only reason to play it for me is to beat it faster and just like speedrun it. It's because you eat it before you can even look at it. Gone off your plate before you even realize what it is. Where are the boomies at? You'll be playing Skylanders blind with you. As long as you don't tell me what to do, or what the best thing to do is.
Stay calm. I shall provide assistance. It's over. The last one. Dragon Swarm. Blow away. Blind freak. Why can't they just sit still? Tia, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
Raining slash. Blow away.
Get in the wind.
We did it.
As impressive as always.
Here I hope that isn't true.
No, I mean, you're even better than...
Light burst forth!
Radiant citizen! You don't mess around.
Certainly not.
Glacier Spear! Here's Eagle!
So, how does that game work?
Radiant citizen!
Like, do you even need to switch Skylanders, or can you beat the game with just one Skylander?
Wow, look what I just found.
You can win as one if you really want. Okay, well, we're not gonna do it that way. We will set a time limit on how long I can play with each Skylander. It doesn't need to be a time limit that makes me use every single Skylander in the game. But it should be a time limit where I can use like 80% of them. Unless I just decide, like, if I play with one for like 5 minutes and I automatically think it's the worst Skylander ever put together, then I will switch a little quicker, but kind of like the Ben 10. Kind of like Ben 10. If there's some bad transformations, I will not use it.
As impressive as always.
Here I hope that isn't true.
No, I mean, you're even better than ever. I've never seen Xion actually look flustered. They're surrounding us!
Dragon form! Take it! Elusive deity!
Do it!
The enemy wields arc too.
You'll soon see about that.
Dragon form! Vacuum blade!
If it's in the sky, it's mine.
Blow away! Darling! In an instant! Impact block! To achieve such harmony.
Damn.
Singular will.
I didn't get any rendering. It is the boomies I get the renderings from, right? Boomy. Yeah, rendering Titan Fang. That's what I need. Was there something else that gives me rendering Titan Fangs? Oh, these guys do it too. Okay. So dual blades and boomies. They save. They automatically save, like on the figures themselves or something. Gotcha. Well, here's a dual blade.
I won't forgive you.
Here I come! No further! I'm not... Come one, come all! Ready? Try hard! My turn! Dragon form!
I'm all
Elusive deity! Dragon form! Take this! Captivity! Here I come! Dragon form! You're mine! Blow them away! An astral art?
That's my cue.
I thought you were going to wreck it. I'm not nearly finished yet. Then I'll provide assistance however I can.
As impressive as always.
And here I hope that wasn't true.
No, I mean, you're even better. I've never seen Xion actually look flustered.
Didn't even break a sweat.
Drop rates hate me in this game. Okay, this is like the perfect battle. I should definitely get some rendering blades into this one.
Pesky airborne scoundrels.
Sounds like a job for you. You are in tip-top shape.
As soon as I'm done here, come help out.
How could a girl ever say no? As impressive as always.
Here I hope there was improvement.
No, I mean, you're even better than ever. I've never seen Tion actually look flustered.
I'm not. You're finished.
Sleep now.
Dragon Swarm.
This annihilation.
Demon Wrath. Eagle Ray. Here I come. Prepare to be seized, O fleet of foot. Actually, perhaps bound is more appropriate.
Let's talk even more doing.
Dragon Swarm. Let me free you of your power.
Here's the Evo. Here goes. Do it.
Tion.
This one's got your name on it.
Ash to ash. A merry distraction.
There's still more to go. Illuminate the dark. Come down. Holy light.
Dragon
Now.
Storm. Walk. Blow them away. This should make for some good weapon crafting material.
I got 3. I think that's exactly what I needed. Or do I need 5 of them? I don't remember. We're just gonna go to a camp and figure it out, because I gotta reset it anyway. The B is at the, anyway, let's go to the field again. Yeah, I need the B one. This one.
That was quite the little adventure we went on.
Yep, I have exactly enough now. So then we just need, yeah, the paralyzed stinger. And we are good. Which I think, I'm assuming a B has a stinger.
Banging away. Oh, but if only I could sword.
Attack up, tiny. No, need attack up or defense up. Defense up, medium. We have a lot of the materials for that. I can use carry.
Good. This came out.
Who should I talk to?
Rinwell, mind if we chat a little? What's wrong? You're looking pretty down. Something on your mind?
Yeah, you could say that. It's just, well, there's something that's been eating away at me for a long, long time. Do you mind if I share it with you?
Of course not. I'm glad to listen.
See, my mom and dad used to tell me I shouldn't go around casting magic. But there was one time I did, behind their backs. And when I did, Almadria showed up.
Huh?
I hated Almadria for destroying everything I loved. But what I hated most was myself. For breaking my promise to my parents. Even though I swore I'd get revenge, there was always this nagging part of me that wondered if I even had any right to do so.
Rinwell, it was Almadria who killed your family. Don't torment yourself over one mistake.
How can you say that when my mother and father died because of me?
This may not comfort you much, but I'll say it anyway. I have a feeling your parents always knew something like that might happen.
What do you mean?
There was always a chance that someday,
Someone was going to find you and your family. But even knowing the risks, they still taught you magic. And there are two reasons I can think of for that. First, your talent. Second, they were hedging their bets.
Huh? On what?
On you, Rinwell. On how you turn out when you grew up. Sure, learning magic may invite danger, but it would have been even more dangerous to live in hiding without being able to defend yourself. They knew what they were getting themselves into when they taught you magic. And I think they did it because of how much they loved you.
Because my mother and father loved me.
Sorry, I know I shouldn't be putting words into your parents' mouths.
No, it's okay. I used to think I would have been better off if I never knew how to use magic. And if I'm really honest with myself, sometimes I still think that. But after traveling around with all of you guys, I've learned that there are things I can do with magic. That there's a point to it after all. So I'm going to keep trying. I'm gonna try and accept it as part of who I am. I want to use it to protect my friends. To protect the future of Dana. Do you think that's selfish of me?
Not at all. I wouldn't want it any other way with you, Rinwell.
I'm counting on you, Alphen.
Bong.
I want to go back to bed.
Alright, we save, and we see if we can kill a bee. Sip, what's up, man? How you doing? Feeling any better? Don't touch me, don't touch me! Getting there, you think? Hope so, man.
That's not your run-of-the-mill enemy.
Alright, time to figure out what level this bee is. And it is. 5 levels higher than me. I'll give it a shot. I think we need to get rid of the other bees first.
Take this! I shall ensure you survive this.
This one's mine.
Here I come! They might black
Sleep now.
How's your game? I'm loving it. It's a lot of fun. It's long. And it's good that it's long. It hasn't overstayed its welcome for me anyway.
being interrupted.
Any bees left? Yes.
Bloody howling! Here I come! Dragon form! On your knees! Ready, I can't lay a finger on you!
I prefer it that way. What about you?
Just watch and see! Dragon form! Benediction
Here goes! Here!
You require
In here!
Can you take it? Try harder! Dragon form!
Out in the way! Got it!
Core broke. Nice.
Now's our chance!
No, I used the wrong ability. Oh, it double stunned it. Never mind. It worked out. Its health is melting right now. Knock it down again. Ah, I didn't boost break it.
In an instant! Impact block!
Here, let me help.
Okay.
Here I come!
Oh, I ran out of time before I could use my mystic art.
Lightning condemned! Thunder blade! They're not playing around!
Take this! Here I come! Try harder! Now! Try hard! My turn! You're mine!
Did he just summon kamikaze bees? I think that's what just happened.
It's about to strike!
Look sharp, everyone!
What the fuck's going on? Oh my god.
Now, while it's reeling!
Take it down!
Take this! Dragon form! Bloody howling! Blow away!
Yeah, we stabilized. Last bit of health here.
Easy! It's in the sky and go now! You couldn't have done it without me, thanks! Come on! Let's see when you get in there and finish this fight!
Harder! My turn! Dragon form!
Burning strike! Here's evil!
Run away, run away, run away. Ow.
Here's evil! Breeze Lancer!
Oh, we hit her. Ow, fuck. We hit her knockout prevention, so now we don't have knockout prevention anymore to fight. But it's okay, we win. That was a good fight. For that guy being 5 levels higher than me, that went very well.
This should make for some good weapon crafting material.
We got 9 stingers. That's exactly what we needed though, so now we can make the best weapon so far for our for Dullahim. Look at this build. Build for what? That looks weird. That doesn't even look real. I mean, it has to be some kind of mod texture pack, right? 'Cause that just looks weird as fuck. Pairing Bluetooth devices for audio output. Do people really care about that?
I think the animals back at the ranch should be all grown up by now.
Alright, we can make it. We can make the human shaft. Making a dick.
You make sure to rest too, Hoodle.
Make sure to get some good rest.
Okay, I think we turn this quest in and then we go
It's a brand new
fight
day, everyone.
the Mantis boss. Her place. Oh, we don't even know what that is still.
Let's
No. It's this one? No. Oh, it is her place. So it is right here that we
the
turned it
dawn.
in.
A laudable sentiment.
Hey, is Dohalim's shirt on backwards?
Suffice it to say, mornings aren't his strong suit.
Sure. Just great.
Well,
Insect Deposer. Nice. Over limit, increased element, easier over limit, increased mid-air damage. Mid-air damage is pretty good. Everything else is kind of meh. I mean, that one might be.
got it. Just relax.
Guess I'll do some laundry and...
What does it look?
Yeah, I guess you will.
Of course he's fine.
Oh, good.
Hey!
Just don't squeeze.
Yeah, I get it. You know, if you keep making that face, it's gonna stick
Oh shit!
that way.
They're actually voice acting this.
What was that?
This isn't subquest stuff.
Nothing. Nothing at all.
Whoops.
Well, if there's nothing for me to do, I guess I'll head back. I suppose I should take this as a sign of how much they've all grown, but... Oh, Dohalim. What are you doing here?
Simply admiring our campfire as I await dinner. I find watching the flames dance can be rather inspiring.
Just the same as always, then. Although I'm sort of relieved.
Oh? And here I thought you were planning to scold me.
Why? Did you want to be scolded too?
No, I wasn't saying that. The night is aglow with star and firelight. Yet what I hold most dear are the words of a friend.
That's not like your usual poetry. Are you trying to tell me something?
Brimming is thy soul with words yet unspoken.
Okay, I get it. You want me to talk to you about it.
To hear your words of worry, I can but sit and wait.
I said I get it. I guess I'm just struggling with how capable everyone's become these days. I'm proud of them, but I'm not sure what I contribute to the team anymore. So, I guess it's been troubling me a bit. They don't need me for chores or fighting anymore. And I don't have much in the way of feminine charm. But aside from being a soldier, do I have anything else to offer? And if not, then what good am I? I can't help worrying about it.
Lost though you may be, with utopia but a dream, life without you would be no life at all.
Dohalim, you're right. I still have Miguel's dream left to fulfill, and we still have the fight ahead of us to overcome.
With you by my side, even the bitter times can taste sweet.
Okay, I think that's enough poetry for one day.
Hey, dinner's ready. Wow, you look really happy, Kisara.
Oh? I'm just excited to see what you two have cooked up. Now let's sit down and enjoy it already. Dohalim, all of your replies last night were poems. What was that all about?
I suppose I was struck with poetic inspiration. Did it strike your fancy?
Yes, I found it to be quite elegant.
I'm afraid my memory of them is a bit faint. Could I trouble you to recite them for me?
No, you cannot. Remember them yourself.
Bitch. Alright, the mantis was here. Let's do this. We're finally gonna get rid of
We've
this.
reached our destination.
Don't touch me. Fuck.
Let's dispose of the trash.
Whoop. Ah. 20,000 damage. Whoop. Ah.
Impressive as always.
See, we are stronger.
A fascinating art there.
Care to give it a try?
No. A little unrefined for my taste.
That's how you judge them?
Alright. Are we ready? Let's go. This is for kicking my ass in the very beginning of the game.
Hi, Hoodle.
Can I aim at a spot? Yeah, I can.
You're mine! Dragon form! Time to cross blade! Try harder! You're mine!
The flashing part's their weak point.
You're mine! Burn in hell!
Thanks for the healing. Watch yourself, okay? Yeah, amazing. You too.
Blow away! Raining slash! Blow away!
In a bind?
Dragon form! Try harder! My turn! Struck! Dragon form!
Alright, he's weak to wind. The severing wind is really good.
Here, let me help.
Ow.
To stop you dying?
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kitara.
Dragon Form!
Lightning again!
Try harder! I'm not done! Dragon Form! This one's all mine!
I owe you, Tion. Healing is what my arts do best.
Poor bro. Go ham. He doesn't stay down very long.
Try harder! My turn! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Here's a healing art.
One more hit. Okay.
This
Halfway.
one's got your name on it.
So far, fight's going well, but he's gonna enrage now, so things might turn. I'm stunned. I don't want to be stunned. Oh, he's enraged. Oh, wait. He's not enraged no more. And the core's back. Ow.
Another incantation ruined.
Charge! He's charging! Stop him! Oh, that was a nasty crit. 7,000 damage crit. Xion heal! I'll stun them. Wait, where did the beats come from? I need to heal. I still need to heal. Thank you. Now, why is there bees? What level are they? 43. I'm not a fan of fighting the bees when he's enraged. Core's almost dead. We'll go for Core.
Here comes the big one! You'll pay for that!
Oh, I hit death. Prevention.
Thanks, Xion.
Be careful not to overdo it.
I'm sorry.
Fuck, I'm always late with that move. Can't react fast with that one. Ow. Stun.
This one is almost in the back.
This core takes forever to... Is it? There we go.
I'm serious. You're a lifesaver.
Try harder! Not a chance!
Breath of life. Heal my weary companion.
Try harder! My turn! You picked the wrong fight!
One more. Alright. We beat the Mantis.
I still got a ways to go.
There's a new game mode. And what? Collection of epic battles. I don't know what you're talking about. Dragon Ball? Oh. How much real money have you put in that game? You fucking whale. You're horrible. You're a monster. You're part of the problem. You are a part of the problem. Why phone games are not fun, at least you pay money. Why do I even pay you? I should just pay Dragon Ball. Whatever company made the game. I just pay them instead. Alright, so that fight went well. We need to turn in the quest back in Oozleback, right? That button. The only quest I think I'm not going to be able to beat right now is the level 50 stag.
We've reached our destination.
That beat the shit out of us. Yes, yesterday. I think I can catch up and complete everything else.
Yeah. What?
Right. Afraid not.
Right.
Yeah.
Pop. So we need to sleep at the end and get ready for the next fight.
Looks like we get to sleep with her.
What did I cook before? That gave me something. This one. This is good.
This is great. The taste and aroma will blow everyone away.
Alright, next was... That's the one that's too hard for us. So, this one is... In sync. What was in sync? I forgot. So we'll go try it.
Finally.
We hit 500 CP. We did it. And we also hit 40 hours playtime.
Only we could have flown with the wind to get here faster.
It's freezing.
It's always like this in Cyslodia.
Menancia was most fortunate, I see.
Oh! Fuck. There are 15. Okay.
Take you all on.
Into the shadows! You made
I have plenty of tricks up my sleeve, young lady.
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
The giant gargoyle. Interesting. I don't even think we've seen this guy yet. Actually, we don't know. I don't even know what level he is. Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. 39. Oh, this should be easy then. We're no, he's like right at our level, right? We're 40.
A scream bathed in blood.
We need this to happen though. Knock him out of the fucking sky.
Go for the weak point!
The tail.
Can you take it? Scream bathed in blood.
Rending you apart. Bloody howling.
fight might be annoying. Can I even slow him down with this? I can't hit him! Stop moving for 2 seconds. Chill, knock him out. Oh, the core broke. Is that our rolling or his? I can't tell.
You picked the wrong fight. Take this.
I owe you, Tion. Healing is what my arts do best. All mine can do is cause havoc and destruction.
You're mine.
Now!
Totally. In an instant. Impact block. Take this. Demon blast.
I want this. Crit, nice. 1000 each. Chill, knock him back out. Let's go. Resisted.
You picked the wrong fight.
That's not fair. The tail is out of bounds.
They're not playing around.
Alright, he's enraged.
I'm only getting started.
Ooh, someone just did a big crit.
Being interrupted.
Nice.
Now's our chance.
Dragon Force. Lightning slash. One final push.
Let's finish this off.
I'll do my best not to disappoint.
Severing wing. Get elusive unity. Stardust. Rending you a bloody negative.
Reload! This one's mine!
Dragon Force.
Damn it! Elevator to the fray!
You picked the wrong fight.
Ready and ready!
Oh, did it miss?
Rending you apart. Here I come.
I can do this all day!
Bloody howling. It's over.
Not in your dreams!
Dragon form. Totally. In an instant. Impact block.
Cool.
I wonder if we can make new weapons with this.
Oh, we still gotta go to the place with the key that we just got. I totally forgot about it. Why didn't you remind me, Vinny? What the fuck? It's in Calaglia. It's I need to look at all the maps. It has a diamond that we haven't seen yet. It's a question mark. What's this? Oh, we gotta go here. Also, let's do that first.
Finally. If only we could have flown with the wind to get here fast.
We only used a 60 CP in that fight. Dude, we are so strong now. Handling bosses without even using items. You didn't even use half of my healing. Oh, I made a wrong turn. You got some Zoogle locked up. Well, let me free it. You've got some mean Zoogles locked up further, and we're keeping a close eye on them to make sure a single one doesn't break loose. Oh, fine. Ooh, it took 40 hours from strong. No, wrong button. Calaglia. It is. No, this button. There it is. Not there. It goes. No, not here either. Where is it? There was a door that was locked. Here it is. That's what we need to get to with the key. Now, what's the fastest way to get there? I'm assuming that's what the key is.
That was quite the little adventure we went on.
I already lost it. Where is it? Here? No. East side? East side. I need to go back. Boom, boom. Hey, puppies.
What's on the other side of this door, anyway?
Yeah.
Why ask me when you can just open it and find out?
It's gonna beat the shit out of me, whatever's in there. It worked.
This is...
What is this? Some kind of bath? A treasury. It looks like something Belsov had built. Treasure. Ooh.
But this is...
What are these? I think they're sausages. Actually, they're wieners. What?
Kisara.
Could you make something with these things? Sure, I could do that late. Now! Alright. She wants to eat the wieners.
Oh.
Well, someone was living well. I can't believe Belsov was hoarding something so delicious. How despicable. Another reason things have got to change. Anyway, we should open this place up to everyone.
Wow.
I don't know that I've ever seen her so fired up. It's not a bad thing, is it? Even if it's because of food. I got the wiener recipe.
Nice one, Elfin.
Thanks. Gotta keep up with the competition.
Personally, I prefer bologna.
Longa. Nice. A witch's dress. And a royal cape. Oh. Nice. Any of them skins? No. No. See? Good memory. Helps. I guess in some things. Alright. So our next quest is... How many quests we got left? Oh, 1 page. Only 1 page left. We can't do that one. We can probably do that one now. The Spirit Temple, we still don't know. A golden suit of armor you get for doing this. The Spirit Temple was sucks though. You really are questing. I told you. The side quests are actually worth it in this game. We are 100%ing. I need to find the rare book so I can get pancakes. I want to make pancakes. Whoa. This has super rewards. Those limestone caverns must be really difficult. 36,000 gold. And a weapon for Rinwell. Oh, I need to go turn this in. Where's this at?
You finally made it.
Bung, bung.
Oh, yeah!
Huh?
Hey! What?
Fuck's going on?
Huh? I'm skeptical.
Is that...
What? Hey!
What?
What's going on here?
Oh, come on.
Huh?
Did you get all that?
What was that all about?
He just thinks something's going on between me and Rinwell. And Rinwell being Rinwell...
Dude's gonna
took
make
it the
me
wrong
rich.
way. Which means now I'm getting an earful from both of them.
That really didn't explain anything.
Yeah. Rich and banned. Banned before I get rich. Vinny, you know what to do. What are you waiting for? Vinny, you're no longer a brawler. I know you said you like using your fists and kicks. You don't use them no more. You are profession with the hammer. You now wield a hammer for life. You're not Mike. I know Mike's the real hammer wielder. Alright, going here next. Can I go straight here? I have to fall. I can't even teleport here. I have to go one room back, I guess. Here. This fight I'm actually sort of afraid of. Well, maybe not, because we just got some badass
Looks
armor.
like we made it here in one piece.
But still, I'm going to rest first. Just to make sure.
Sleeping on the ground beneath the heavens.
Wieners! Attack up large from hot dogs, dude. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try the hot dogs.
Good. This came out. I'll see you again tomorrow.
Alright, so now we just gotta run. We got 5
We've
minutes
rested long enough.
to
Let's
get,
keep moving.
to get into the fight. I just wanna eat chili dogs.
This place is rather gloomy.
Why don't you lighten the mood for us while we're here then?
I'll see what I can do.
Whee! See? You like lyrics, dude. You're a liar. Whoops, I need to go to B1. Was it this? No. It is this one. This one.
Guess
Okay.
I misread the landing.
Give me some level 5. Nice. Level 5 inhibitors. I'll take it. This heal thing is still here. Alright, here we go. Stay over here. Or within time limit with our food buff. Let's go.
I've got a bad feeling about this one.
Me too. Go
Alright.
no further!
To start, this.
In a bind.
Hopefully it hits both of them.
You're mine.
Okay, I only hit the one.
Dragon swarm. Demon lash. Raining tornado drive.
This guy, they actually don't have that much health. Ow! Give me the healing circle.
Demon lash. Raining tornado. Too fast. Stand back. I'll trip it
Where
up.
are you going?
Here I come. Does it hurt? Strike.
I kind of would be interested to see like 4-player online co-op. Like if you have a human controlling all the characters, what would really be going down? I think it would be cool in boss fights or something. Batshit crazy. I already hit knockout prevention, so that's not good for me. I can die a moment now. These guys don't have a lot of health, but they hit hard.
Scarlet Inferno.
Here's a healing art! Water astrology!
In an instant. Impact block. You're mine. Demon lash. Enough done. Eagle ray. Raining flash. Blow away.
Will this help?
Raining no further.
Slow him down.
I'll heal you all!
You're mine. Resonate with the earth.
Healing circle!
On your blow away. Try harder. My turn. Why aren't you human?
To stop you dying?
Try harder. Not now. You're mine. Blow away. Try harder. You're mine. This one's all mine.
Holy lamp!
Stop roaring. I just want to kill you.
Such unadulterated fury.
Eat dirt.
It's about to strike!
Look sharp.
One more.
In an instant.
He dead already.
We work well together.
Like a finely timed waltz.
Dragon swarm.
Take this! Come forth! Holy glitter! What was I thinking? Holy lamp!
Raining slash. Everlasting shock. Wind.
Healing circle!
I'll grind you with a shot.
Here's
You're
another
mine.
outstanding form!
Strike.
Magic is there! Sweet now! Healing flame! Away!
Blow away. Light burst forth.
Radiant Genesis! Move at the marksman handle this!
I'm not done.
What? Blow
away.
Dude, look at this, how chunk. Look at this. Bam! Look at this man move, man.
Where are you going? Holy lamp! I'll heal you all!
Ow, ow, I deserve it. I deserve it. Don't kill me, please. Don't kill me.
Illuminate the dark! Be careful not to overdo it.
I'm sorry. I'll do better.
Slow his ass down.
Death shall not be
Nice. Alright, now he's dead. And the finisher.
Instant. Impact block.
The heavens must be smiling.
some opal. Alright, to the quest. I don't know where I got turned in, so this would be the best way to find out. It was... Echoes? Echoes.
Looks like we made it here in one piece.
Right, good. You don't... Right, agreed.
Lucky cat statue.
This shall be a feast for the senses.
Alright, next. Seaside Tornado, probably. Or Master of Nature. Let's do Master of Nature.
I think the animals back at the ranch should be all grown up by now.
There's an owl here, I think. Somewhere.
I've got a good amount of info on our enemies written down now.
I'll see you again tomorrow.
I have good info. Peace. Nighttime.
Come on, Rinwell, up and at 'em.
But I'm still all sleepy.
Go on here about it. Snails. Actually, that snail hit me from there. I gotta go over here. Alright, this thing. You belong to the Tojo clan.
That's a big Zoogle.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. Let's go!
Gotta break through. You're mine. No escape. Burn in hell.
Wait, did it summon another one?
The flashing parts are weak points.
Wait, when did we get a green one? Did they share hell? And he's about to cast a spell.
Not in your dreams.
I think he got it off.
Magic is
Whoa, whoa, whoa! I didn't want to play as her. That's... I was like, what the fuck's going on?
Sorry,
There's 3 of them now. And I can't stop any of them. Ow. Hit them all, hit them all. I'm guessing if we splash attack, we do damage to one boss line. Because they are all... they're just chunking. Ooh. Oh. This thing's getting fucked on having the blue one right next to it. Oh, there's all 4 elements are here.
Don't mind if I do. I never miss.
Oh, I think he's enraging.
Thanks. Come on. Let's see when we get in there and finish this fight. Minor corruption. Gemini Aqua.
Take this.
I'll be saving this one. By the power of water. Mega Ray.
another incantation ruined.
Raging Storm. More where that came from.
Won't escape me.
Everything's using magic. I don't know what's my magic and what's their magic. But it seems like everything's mine so far.
This one's got your name on it.
Ashes to ashes. A merry distraction.
You didn't know I could
There's still more to
swim?
go.
We swam the whole game. You haven't seen it?
Wow, look what I just found.
No, you know how much fish I had to pick up by hand? By swimming to it like this? I can't believe you had no idea. I had to go over here and go bloop. All game. There's been fish like that. Shows how much you pay attention. No wonder why you don't know anything. Swim water since the second map. Actually, since the first map. Where's the nature? Master of nature. I can't dive though. Can only swim. Can't
Always
dive.
good to be back in familiar territory.
Which is preferred anyway. I don't want to do underwater shit. No one likes underwater in video games.
Yeah.
Sonic taught me underwater is bad. And it's been the same ever since. Divine Saber. That sounds cool. Get it. Increased down damage is always good. Might as well finish this for 30% critical rate. Oh, not 30%, but 30 crit chance. Oh, that's always good. Dude, she's got so much AG, it's not even funny. She's gotta have so... How much fucking diamonds does she fucking have? Sonic teaches a lot. It does. I wanna look at her stats. I got 8 diamonds. How much she have? She has 10 diamonds, dude. I think she's capped. I think she's maxed out. Dude, look at my sword strikes. I hit the max number of sword strikes. I don't even remember doing 700 flame strikes, that's for sure. I don't do flame strikes because it costs health. And it doesn't do that much more damage, in my opinion. I feel like it's not worth it. Maybe later, but she's pretty even across. He does more staff. She's light. She does light attacks more than anything. All fists, baby. And then she does shields, which makes sense. She has a big ass shield. If she wouldn't use it, I don't know. All right. So we have one more boss, and then I think we continue the story because I don't think I can finish anything else. So this one. So we narrowed it down to almost just 5 subquests. One, I'm looking for a book. One, we can try that temple again with the balls and the stupid statues. I can try to see if I have enough damage for that place again. The boss stag was level 50. He's just like 15 higher level than me. I can't do it yet. And then we have the limestone caverns, which, basing off rewards, it's going to be a scary place. But I guess I could check that out too. So let's do this next. I do need to find a place to sleep. This'll work.
Looks like we made it here in one piece.
Looks like we get to sleep with a roof over our heads.
I wonder if killing the bosses like unlocks more weapons or something. Doesn't look like it. You are so rich. I know. I hope it doesn't cap at 9999. I'll be pretty sad. I'll save. Dude, look how fast that is. You can almost save during a speed run. Because it's literally like 1 second. You can safety save.
I wonder what we'll find out there this time.
Most likely Zoogles, I would reckon.
I mean, other than them.
You actually can't. I mean, it doesn't mean a lot in an RPG run, trust me. There's a lot of fucking RNG in RPGs.
That is one enormous stray.
I don't think we can take it right now.
It's a big chicken. Did they really think we can't take it right now? What level is this fucking thing? Nah, we could take it.
Out of our way.
It's fucking Pidgeot, yo. It's my Pokemon.
I never miss. In here. The flashing part's their weak point. Each turn.
It even has Pidgeot's hairdo. Back on the ground you go. Oh, back on the ground you go. Can mine fill up before it gets back up? Oh. Okay. Back on the ground you go. How did Cheon's go up so fast? I don't understand. But it's halfway dead. It hasn't even moved yet. Okay. Ooh.
No further. You're mine.
Ow, ow. We didn't use our knockout prevention yet. I just need to heal. Thank you. Is that mine? I've never seen that before. I missed. This poor bird. What the fuck? Oh my god, my team is destroying the fuck out of it. No chance.
This should come in handy when crafting weapons.
Thing got merged. Deleted.
You finally made it.
Yeah.
How?
Huh? What? Hey.
Burning Strike, a new move. Nice. Yay, it didn't cap at 999. 99. Gusty girl. Untamable Rage. That's the little 50 stag. And then we gotta meet owls. Cyclone. Give it to me. We got a ton of points for some people. I'm almost ready to spend them. Spend them in a little bit. Wow. Wow, is he here? What are you doing? 4 hours and 22 is like dragon any percent world record. Like a dragon. 4 hours? That seems really fast. No, so I used NVIDIA. NVIDIA's voice. RTX, I think it's called. And it's a smart voice program. So it only picks up like voices. It can tell the difference from a voice and like the sink running water. It will cancel out the running water on the sink. Even if I'm talking, you won't hear the sink running. And I can clap my hands. I think even clapping doesn't work. Do you hear that or no? I don't know. I don't know how good it is, but it seems to work pretty good. No? Yeah, isn't that weird? I don't know how it sorts out the sound waves. It's really weird. So if you have like a lot of shit going around in your background, like it's gonna pick up kids because it's voices. But like if your kids are banging shit, you won't hear the banging. It's pretty nice. If I didn't have this app, I probably would have instantly moved back in my room pretty quick because Rob comes out here pretty often to cook food and he washes the dishes. Like especially he will how much do you pay? It's free. And he also like the garbage disposal, that thing is loud as fuck. I don't think you guys ever hear that, but that he probably does that like every day, and I'm like I'm streaming here, why would you do that? But it doesn't affect you guys, don't hear it. I hear it, but you don't hear it. Alright, let's do temple first. Let's try this first. How much? I could just go straight in. We didn't really use that much resources. It's fine. Oh, I have to go over there myself. I don't remember where it was. I know it'll show up on this map, but no. Oh wait, there's another side quest. No, why are you giving me more? I'm trying to get rid of these, not get more of them.
Always good to be back in familiar territory.
No, Rob is unhappy because there's nothing to do here. Georgia, it's illegal to gamble in Georgia, so there's no casinos. He likes to gamble. Strip clubs, he likes white chicks. All the strip clubs around here are black chicks. There's just a whole, he's just not happy here. But that's just like more icing on the cake, where they're trying to take him off slipping.
I wonder if something happened.
So as a receiver, we have a forklift that has really thin forks, and you go under the cereal in the trucks. That's how you pick it up, and you take it out of the truck that way. That's pretty much like he's put the most time into the job without quitting. Like I have probably put in the same amount of time that he has, but I quit. So he has more seniority than I do.
Why?
Yeah.
And
My
and in my opinion, if you should be able to choose what you want to do based off seniority. After everyone has learned everything, it should go by seniority on who should do what, in my opinion. But my supervisor, this first supervisor just doesn't do it that way.
I can't say I'm impressed. You're making promises.
It almost seems like he gives everyone the worst thing that they don't want to do.
Beset with grief.
On purpose.
As a responsible Renin, it falls to me to extend my hand.
I don't think it should be your burden to take on.
But
Yeah.
I see. Good.
but Rob's old also. He's 55. Like his patience is very like he doesn't have patience anymore at the job. Like at the job and here when he's at home, he's like two completely different people. Like even at the job, I barely want to be next to him. He throws fits and tantrums and like I need to get away from that. I don't like it. Like lowers the morale. But at home, he's super happy and everything. Like, as long as he's not at work, he's happy. But also like him, like, you know, even if he wasn't to move out, I don't know how many years that guy's got left. Honestly, like he's not healthy. I've never seen that guy eat anything green in his life, and he smokes every day like a whole pack of cigarettes, and he came from the military. He's got some problems from that. His back is fucked. He's got a lot of problems. So it's even scary, you know. Like he coughs up a lung like every morning. Also, I think the sports memorabilia hit him pretty hard. That it didn't go well for him. Because that was his way of like trying to not have to work like overtime every week. So he's still paying like child support and it's killing him. He's not very good financially. He's stable, but like just barely. Like he doesn't really have play money outside of. So he like tried buying a bunch of autograph stuff and trying to flip it for higher money. And when he tried to sell, no one bought. So now we have all this stuff, and he's down like another $1,500. Like not good. Yeah. He didn't have this issue back in New York. He was able to gamble whenever it was down the road from him. He was selling this stuff at flea markets and stuff. We don't really see that many like flea markets around here. But he likes to go out and do stuff. And here there's nothing to do but like go to a bar and drink. Like I haven't seen many putt around here. Just like I haven't even seen a bowling alley yet. I haven't really searched, but you don't really see it. Like when we were in New York, you drive and you would see all that stuff, all the stuff to do. You had go-karts, you have like movie theaters. I'm sure there's like movie theater here somewhere. But now also with COVID and stuff, it's like, do you even bother? So what does this quest want me to do? Visit the Owl Forest. Oh, I need to go back to the Owl Forest. At the end of the day, he's just not happy where he's at right now. And in my opinion, like, I'm happy because I'm a homebody, but Georgia is not where I would stay if I had a choice. I'm stuck here because of work. If it wasn't my job holding me here, I would probably go. So I would try somewhere else. I would either stayed in South Carolina. I kind of liked it there, or I really want to try Hawaii.
Well,
Which one it could be? Put the Owl King says these 3 new owls arrived recently. The golden male owl, choose the jet black female, choose the ashen male owl. I think we need to read the quest because I have no idea what we're even trying to figure out. I mean, we have gold and silver, right? So let's get rid of the black. Plus, also one's female, the other 2 are male.
oh,
Good.
yeah.
I see.
A big basket or a little basket? Big or small? Big or small? Big.
Really?
What?
Staggering amount of ingredients.
Yeah.
Who? Who? Who?
Well,
She's like, I'm gonna bring the basket back herself. She wants us to go on ahead and tell the mother she's going home. Alright. It seemed like big basket was the way to go.
those 3 seem to get along so well. Was it really right for them to separate?
It was his choice, and he ultimately chose the lady over his friend. I can only hope this helps her in her recovery.
Still room on there. Still room on there. Still room on there. Still room on there. But this one's full. So we found all the green ones. But I'm still missing on every other tree. Boom, boom.
We finally made it.
What Rob wants, he wants a New York, but he wants a warm New York. That's what he's looking for. But I don't know if he's gonna find it. You want cold? I don't mind cold. I don't want snow.
Huh?
All the owls came.
Huh?
Oh. Uh-oh.
Well.
Don't tell her. Just let her be happy.
So then, my thanks.
So that was the mother of Deadeye. And he is dead. There we go. Art casting mobility. That's a really good thing to have. That's probably good to have too. Alright, we'll still wait on the rest of it. Nothing 70 or above.
Was caring for these owls. Maybe he really was a nice
I don't
guy
mind
once.
70. 80
People
is
are
too
not
high.
born immutable.
80 is where
They change.
I'm like,
And not always for the better.
This time it was for the better, though.
Indeed.
What I like about the South, though, is like every house has central air. I like when I went back to New York, I forgot you have to use AC units. I forgot I had that issue where, because I used to stream in a room that had my air conditioner in the window. Air conditioners are loud. I mean, I'm sure with the noise thing that helps now, but you didn't have that back in the day. I had to like stream with the air conditioner running, and people would be like, what's the buzzing noise in the background of your stream? It's fucking air conditioning. Fuck, dude, the quest don't end. This town just sucks. Just keep spawning more quests.
I wonder if something happened. I get. All right.
Yeah.
If one day I get rich and streaming is the main job, I will have 2 houses.
Did anyone notice Bayfon acting a little strange?
I will move to New York for summer, and I will come back down south for winter. Cause that's how I like it. Temperatures are fine in those seasons in those states. And I like the layout of New York. So New York is like grid based. It's more like it's all blocks basically. And your stuff is spread out. Like you have a Walmart, maybe in the bottom left of the grid, you got like, I don't know, all your other essentials, all you know, it's all over the place. And there's more than one way to get to them. In the South, everything's on a strip. Everything's on one road. You have your gas station, your Walmart, your, I don't know, your car place. Like everything is on one strip. And then it's just all housing around it. So then whenever you need to go get something, this road is always jam-packed with 50 million cars. Because everything you need to get is on that road. I hate this. I hate that. That's why it takes like... I can see Walmart from my house, but it takes me an hour to get there. It's so stupid. Yeah. For some reason, the South likes strips. Make your way to the tower on the top of the mountain. Wait, are we finally gonna see what's beyond that tower? That ancient tower that we've been able to pass all game? Doesn't look like we're going inside the tower yet, but there's something close to the tower.
We finally made it. This is where the light fell? What's with this tower? Is it a den and relic?
No idea. But the astral energy is getting stronger here. The light's definitely in this area. Even if it is an agent from Lenegus, I'll blow them away with my astral arts.
It's another light. The other lights are subquests. Wait, were these monsters here before?
We have to save them.
I actually don't even think these monsters were here before. Have I fought? And I've never seen that thing before. Level 66! That guy's dead, let him be.
Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
Right. Pesky airborne scoundrels.
Sounds like a job for yours truly.
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
This thing is level 26. It's 26 higher levels than us. But someone buffed the shit out of me. Look at all my stat ups under my health bar. Well, now it's gone, but I think I'll be able to win this fight. But we are retreating after this. Ow! You don't want to get touched though.
You must be tired of hearing me. I'm merely doing what I can to help. Glad you're on up.
Do it! Dominated in an instant! Impact block! We work well together.
Like a finely timed waltz.
Here's a hero in between heaven and
Tear
earth.
you apart!
Flew away! Divine
Win!
dance in the wind! Into
Here
the
I come!
shadow! Air thrust!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Reload! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis!
Crap!
Wow.
Why you? Why you?
You call Rimwell a monster.
Guess.
Yeah.
Damn.
That was like a free level up. Alright, so let's not come here yet. Okay, so that's another quest we can't do yet. So Spirit Temple. I don't think we're supposed to do the Spirit Temple yet either. But that's the only place, the only sub-quest left I think we might be able to do. But we'll see. We'll go check it out. I just don't know why it can't show me on the map where it is. Oops. It's in the big open area. So, I'm pretty sure it's in the, I think I know where it is actually. Where's my, this is what I'm looking for. There we go. It's over in the marsh. Here, right? Yeah, I think it's here. No. This is where the cave is. There's another open area like that, but I forgot where. Is it gonna show up on here? Crap. It's not showing up now. Here it is.
That was quite the little adventure we went on.
Alright, try this again. We'll actually spend our points though. Alright, what do we want to get? Faster AG is always good. Better damage, over limit. None. Oh shit, weak point damage. Yeah, it's always good. Okay. Finish this for 50 pen, sure. Resilience is always good. Critical damage is always good. I think that'd be good for her. Hit damage. Awakening. I think there was another awakening somewhere. Was it this one? Yeah. Got prevention. Like that. Easier party member. Oh, overall, everyone. Let's try these other abilities. Okay. Alright, this took like... Yesterday it was taking like 30 minutes to fight one mob in here. Let's go see if that's still the case.
Are we underground? This looks like the inside of some kind of ancient structure.
It seems likely that we're in a Danon temple. Instead of destroyed, it must have been buried and preserved. Either that,
Oh, was that
it was constructed underground to begin with.
These are level 60. That's why it took forever. Hey, we're not supposed to be here yet either. Okay, I think everything is like higher level than us. Now we play the waiting. We go progress the storyline for a while. So 60 something is the highest level we've seen. So we got about 20 levels before we probably beat the game at least. Maybe. Well, let's do a final quest check. Alright. Owls, we're just looking for owls. That is level 60, that was level 54. This, we're just looking for a book that we haven't found yet, and this is level 60. We're good. We only have 3, 4, 5 quests, 6 quests that we can't do. I'm okay with that. We did a lot today. Alright, the main story was by Berg, right? More questing? Nope. Can't quest.
We've reached our destination.
Everything's too high for us now.
I think the animals back at the ranch should be all grown up by now.
No better armor. No better weapons, right? Nope, no better weapons. It's time to go. I could probably create another accessory or two also. I got some opals. Opal is resistance. I got some hexes. I don't know if that's curse. I think I got level 4. I want some warrior. We need to find some grimoires. Piercing, grit, healing. Got more transcendence. Half AG cost. That's interesting. Who's left? Who needs an accessory left? I could probably make everyone updates. Like everyone that's not using a level 5, I could probably make everyone a level 5 accessory right now. Me. I need to make 3 level 5 accessories. Me, Law, and Kisaro. Are you giving up then? What do you mean giving up? They're too high a level. I can't do it. I'm not giving up. We're gonna come back when we're the level we're supposed to be. That's how RPGs work. Not every quest they give you, you're supposed to beat it right then and there on the dot. That's how it used to work. They don't do that no more. It's just, so what they should have done in this game to clarify that is put level requirements next to the quest, or recommended levels. But they didn't do that. So you have to go in and get destroyed by a boss that's 20 levels higher than you, or higher. And then you have to remember that they're at that level. Which I did, so we're good. It's not the first game that's done that to me though. Actually, when you beat Final Fantasy 15, there's a boss. There's a boss that's a whole fucking like mountain. It's a turtle, and it's definitely a boss that you need to be the highest level you can be in the game to beat it. At least you find some sort of cheese, but I didn't even try. I didn't even do it. Yeah. But you're still, even when you beat the game, you're not the level. You beat the game, you're like, I think level 60, I think is the average. If you just like, if you've done side quests and main story stuff. So yeah, it's just a lot of quests. There's a lot of RPGs that do that, where they throw giant stuff out in the field that you're not supposed to be able to beat till later. I mean, even World of Warcraft did that. World of Warcraft, you walk around, do your quests. I couldn't tell you how many times, like on my like leveling up, that just like a guy that's like 10 levels in elite just like randomly walks by and goes and one-shots you. Very bad. Another game that's like really notorious for that is Xenoblade Chronicles. Xenoblade has just large ass monsters that walk around, and if you get any, those monsters have a huge ass range that you can pull them by accident, and there's nothing you can do about it. It just comes over and goes, and you're dead. You're just like, oh, hi, I'm sorry. So me, Law, and Kasara. Resistance isn't bad for Kasara. For me, I like to have some kind of damage if I can. I mean, this isn't always bad. Let's see, we can just find like some damage stuff. Did I pick up any damage? That one's good. And I do fire damage. The only thing is, I am using a Warrior's Emblem and it gives me a percentage on my attack. And like 15% of 1000. It's pretty big. 150 attack. So I'd actually lose attack putting this on. Like I just need it to, I need a 15% attack on something. Or some kind of percentage. I wonder how like much stat boost you get on this. So it's stat boost on enemy defeat. So there's like a mob of 5. I don't know if you're just like a god. Or if it's really like just meh. This would be really good for Kasara, I think. More health. I think I'm just gonna make her a super tank. Just make this. Alright, that's Kasara's. Protect. Impact. So 80% crit chance, but I mean, but you lose all your resistances. So you're a glass cannon. You get touched, you die. But you're a critting machine. I'm not gonna play with that. I don't think there's a way for me to make one from me right now. Max HP damage. Increases damage dealt by 15% when you're at max health. It's pretty good if I could stay at max health. That's really tanky. Alertness and coup de grace. Temporal increases crit rate by 5% on successful perfect evades perfect guards. Increases damage dealt from arts that consume all AG by 15%. So if you're good at managing your AG, that's not bad. Question. Would you get rid of the 15% attack if there was a 100% crit chance you quit? Yeah, probably. Crit is pretty big. Crit seems to be like, if not double damage, 1.5. But I think in this game, Critting seems to be a 2 times damage multiplier. Oh, I can make... I'm not seeing anything for me. So they have this thing called transfer skills. I don't know how this works though. If I can transfer a main skill. No selectable accessories present. Only accessories at max level can be selected as materials. Oh, I think I have to max out. I'm pretty sure I can only use the new skills. I don't think I can take a main skill out of one. I'm gonna try though. Give me the I think it has to be the same one too. I gotta go over the tutorial on it real quick.
Whoa.
See how that works. I learned it like very late. Transferring accessories. By sacrificing an accessory, you can transfer one bonus skill to a different accessory. However, this can only be done if the accessory to be sacrificed has reached the max level. Repeat this process to forge the ultimate accessory. But can you take the main skill off of one? That's what I need to know. Combat increases combat points earned from battle by 20%. More ore increases the amount of ore required from mining ores. I found a lot of artifacts. Cooking effect boosts 1, makes the effect of recipes last 10% longer. Increases SP earned from battle by 20%. Allows an additional 6 arts to be set and can be swapped out in the art screen. Oh, that's not a... That's an artifact that I found. That's not a storyline thing, I guess. Or no, it has to be, because I can't turn it on or off. Reduces all damage, both taking and inflicting to just 1. So everything in the game does 1 damage. Even you. That sounds horrible. Well, I guess that's for like training. I don't know why you would even want that. All damage, both taken and inflicted to just 1. It's gonna be a long game if you play with that. It's gotta be like some kind of training or something, or learning a fight. Okay. I guess I'm just gonna have to just try it. So I need to make a warrior emblem and max it out. Let's see if I can. I only have one. Ooh, I only have 1 to make. Fuck it. Just craft it. We're just gonna mess around with it. All right, enhance the warrior emblem. I'll just use my level 1 stuff that we're not ever gonna use. Okay, that's it. Okay, transfer skill. Select the skill you would transfer. So yeah, I can only transfer... I can't transfer the main skill. Only the new skills. That sucks. Okay, well, let's get the resist ring up to par here. Okay. And then I just need to craft something for Law here. Although Law, I would like to give him a warrior emblem too, honestly. He's a melee fighter just like I am. I could give him this. This ain't bad. It gives him more crit chance. This one would be the next best thing for me, I think, because I do fire damage with the blazing sword. I do get an attack up. I would just lose 90 attack, which to me sounds like a lot. I'm gonna give this to Law. I have an okay one. Oh, even Law has an okay one. So he's at 940 attack. It's gonna go down a bit on the on this. Okay, he's gonna lose 100 attack. Fuck. I don't like it. Not a fan. But he's got a lot of penetration. I think he's got the most in the party. So I mean, it might be worth it. He'll gain 40. And then he's got alertness, which gives him more crit chance. If he evades decently. She gets to resist one. Wait, she's gonna lose health? What do I have on her? Oh, I have a percentage health one. See? Percentage is better than flat. Just proved right there. This thing's about to give her 400 health and it actually is a downgrade. But it does so much more stuff, so oh, it's worth it. I didn't even realize our health pools were that big. Yeah, flat sucks bad. Flat isn't bad in like... So like League of Legends used to have a thing where it was flat stats versus percentages. But the percentages would go up. It was based off your level in the game. So when you get to late game, percentages definitely surpass the flat by far. But if you wanted to have a better early game, the flat was the better way to go. So if your games weren't only lasting less than 20 minutes, then flat was better. But like anything past 20-minute games, you want percentages, but there's no way to know. Just assuming. I always just played for the late game.
You always get excited when you find something good.
We should hurry and get this stuff processed.
Alright, one more camp session, and we are off to Lenegus.
We should be able to cook here.
Huh? Why are you staring at me?
Oh, we thought we'd turn the tables and critique your appearance for a change.
It's not fair if we're the only ones subjected to it.
What?
Did you guys hear? Apparently, she found that dress of hers in some old ruins.
Alphen, we haven't heard from you yet. Would you care to tell us your verdict?
Sure, I guess. To be honest, when I first saw Shion in that dress, I
Quit it!
was absolutely captivated.
All right, I think that's enough fun for one day.
I didn't think he'd admit it.
Kisara, let's talk for a bit.
I've been thinking about what we discussed earlier. His reasons might not have been pure, but in the end, Dohalim still made Elda Menencia a place where Danans and Renans can coexist. I thought everyone would welcome that change, with open arms. I took pride in what we had without putting in the work to truly solidify it. After so much failure, do you think I even have the right to pursue my ideals?
It doesn't matter what I think. You've already found your answer, haven't you?
I know what I want to say, but I can't help but wonder if I'm being selfish.
Everybody makes mistakes in life, Kisara. Everybody. It's what you do afterwards that matters. But you already knew that, right?
Yeah. I won't look away from the world any longer. I'll do my best to confront reality, so that we don't lose anyone else, ever again. More to the point, Dohalim needs someone who can push him forward. I think we both get lost in our sorrow too easily when we focus on the past.
If we see that happening, we'll set him straight. Don't worry. We'll look out for both of you. I have to say though, if you turned out this well modeling yourself after Miguel, he really must have been a great man.
What, you didn't believe me before? I'm pretty sure I've been going on about him since I joined up. If you need more convincing, I've got plenty more stories about him.
Maybe another time.
Don't worry. Once I finish folding these clothes, I'll go to sleep. Rise and shine. We're almost ready to leave.
Goodbye, Danon.
Well, it's the moment of truth.
This lady better hold together once we're up in the air.
Law, don't say that! You're going to jinx us!
Speaking of which, Alphen, this bucket of bolts got a name?
A name? You know, I'm not sure she ever had one.
What's up?
I never really thought about it.
Well, after all the trouble we went through to find her, we should give her one, right? I was thinking something like...
Fall Knights.
Huh?
It means owl in the ancient tongue. Literally, the one drawn to the skies.
Fall Guys? No.
I like it. Sounds perfect for our little escapade.
Not sure I'm completely convinced, but... Well, it's as good a name as any. From now on, she'll be known as the Fall Knights.
Okay, people. We have two goals. First, we need to get to Lenegis and make the Renans finally leave Dana alone. And then, we need to figure out the truth behind Shion's thorns and find a way to save her. Sound good? All right, then let's go.
Season 3? I don't know. Maybe a post-game intro, maybe. These games usually have a post-game, so...
You know, I can still hardly believe it.
Believe what?
I mean, just look at it. The whole of existence, crammed inside a tiny frame.
Now that you mention it, I guess you're right. It does look more like a painting than a living, breathing world.
From up here, all the struggles we've been through feel so insignificant.
Nothing like realizing how small you are to put everything into perspective. Kinda makes the differences between the Renans and the Danans feel pretty small too, huh?
How much longer until we reach Lenegis?
There are better ways to use your time than napping. We should take a moment to familiarize ourselves with the facilities on board before arrival.
Good idea. The starship may end up serving as our base of operations once we're down there. Think you'll be all right with the controls?
You mean the one set to automatic pilot? I dare say I'll manage. I'm basically just here to supervise.
In that case, she's all yours.
What I always thought about that's weird in a lot of RPGs, like Final Fantasy's universe, and I guess this game now, even like Star Ocean and other RPGs, like they do, like, it's medieval with mages and swords, but then we have space technology with spaceships and like tech barriers and stuff like that. Like, I thought that was like a weird mix. We don't have guns, but we have this weird technology, robots and shit.
Everything okay, Shion? You seem a little different.
Although I guess we do have guns.
Like in
this
a
one.
bad way different? No, not at all. You seem more driven lately, like you found
Yeah.
a zest for life. It suits you.
She's special. But notice how the only one who has a gun is actually from a different planet, like space. She had to use space technology. It's a laser gun.
Is something wrong?
For sure.
No. I was merely thinking how it had been 7 years, that's all.
You mean since you became a lord and left Lenegis? I guess even someone like you can
She got a gun
become
300
somehow.
years ago. She's not 300 years
I
old.
am as prone to sentimentality
She's a
as any
descendant
other.
from a maiden.
Tell me though.
She's
you
not
too have a
the
history
maiden.
With Lenegis. A traumatic one, no less. This trip will probably mean facing up to some difficult emotions. Doesn't that frighten you?
Well, it is a place where I took the lives of countless people. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about it. But I can't keep running forever. The past is what it is. There's no changing that. But the future's what we make it.
I see.
Dohalim?
Forgive me. I was wrong to pry. We have more pressing matters to address. Come back and speak to me when you finish looking around the ship.
Like, she is actually of the timeline. But we're the only one that's 300 years past. Still alive type shit. We were just friends with our, like, great grandma or whatever.
We'll be going to Lenegis soon.
This must feel like a homecoming of sorts to you, huh? What was life on Lenegis like back then? You know, before you came to Dana.
Let's just say I don't have many happy memories. I've had thorns my whole life, for as long as I can remember. They called it treatment, but in truth, they were just using me as a guinea pig for their research.
You mean they experimented on you?
That's right. All I was to them was a riddle to solve. They poked and prodded me, trying to figure out what triggered my thorns or changed the form they took. Day in and day out, every single day, one test after another. I'm still surprised they didn't try to dissect me. The look they gave me whenever one of them touched my skin. How could I forget it? Reeling from the pain, like I was a monster or something. Some existence, huh? A blight on any I touched. Helplessly complicit in their pain. I thought things couldn't get any worse, but then they did. I started to have nightmares, visions of the coming apocalypse. Is it any wonder I lacked a cheery disposition? Unable to so much as touch another soul. Loneliness was my best friend. Sure, I survived, but with the knowledge that one day I'd be swallowed up by oblivion. And that's when it hit me. If I was going to die, then it should mean something. If I have to sacrifice myself to save the world, so be it.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you relive that.
No, it's fine. I'm in a much better place now.
You say it's your destiny to die so that others can live. But why not the other way around? Why shouldn't we be the ones dying to save you?
Are you crazy? Why would you sacrifice your life for...
That's exactly my point. Why should you have to give up your life just because you drew the short straw in the destiny stakes? How is that even right? It's that logic that's used to justify slavery, as if some of us were just meant to be sacrificed. This struggle was never about saving only ourselves. But that doesn't mean we have to give up our own lives to save everyone else's either. If we're doing this to protect people, if we're doing this to save the world from destruction, then that has to include saving each other as well.
A world free of sacrifice. That's what you've been fighting for all along, isn't it?
Not just me. We're in this together, remember? This fight is yours too, Xion. If we're going to win, everyone has to win. There can be no room for losers in this fight. Now I see it. The true nature of our struggle.
A victory without losers. But that means that a Dahnan victory over Rena can't be the end. Do you think we can pull it off?
You bet we can pull it off. We have to. It's the only hope we have of things ever changing.
Yeah, you're right. No one's ever changed the future without aiming for the stars. We can do this. Together.
Y'all was babies together. You're like the opposite of a spoiler. You tell the absolutely wrong facts. You'd piss off people thinking you spoiled the game for them, but it's something that doesn't even happen.
Hey, Alvin, listen to this! So Law and I were just talking and...
Hey, shut up!
What's got Law all flustered?
Only that he's afraid of flying, the big baby. And after all that fuss he made about naming the ship, too.
Hey, I never said I was scared. I just think it's, you know, a little unsettling how we're going to be cruising through space in a glorified tin can. That's all.
It's a starship, dummy. That's what it's supposed to do. I don't think there's anything strange about it.
Well, maybe you're the one with the problem then.
Guys. I'm no expert, but I think we can trust Renan technology. It got me to Dahna in one piece, remember?
Oh, that's a good point. If you think so, Alvin, it must be okay. Don't you agree, Law?
Hard to argue with that, seeing how you hitched a ride in one of these things before, Alvin. It's just wrong, okay?
I need something to eat.
So this is where I was for 300 years.
You okay? Feeling airsick?
Actually, now that you mention it, not at all. These starships are a remarkably smooth ride, all things considered. Nothing like being at sea, thank goodness.
Glad to hear it. That device there caught your eye, huh?
I was just wondering what it is. It looks big enough to fit a person inside of it.
It's a healing pod. It fixes injuries and illnesses.
Oh, you don't say. That should definitely come in handy if any of us get injured while we're down there. Alphen? Was it something I said?
No, I was just thinking back to when I escaped Lennigus, that's all. What with the ceremony and losing control, I was a total mess. Naori laid me inside here.
So, you're saying you got in this thing straight after escaping? But that mean... you were inside for 300 years?
Yes, It sounds crazy, I know. But don't even ask me why I stayed asleep all that time.
That's definitely quite some lie-in, all right. But still, whether you meant to or not, I sure am glad that it's this century that you finally woke up in.
What do you mean?
With the amount of fighting we've done, we would have never made it this far without you. And not only that, but... Alphen, can you recall back to what it is that I said to you? Back when we left Menancia? About the dream of coexistence, and needing to learn what it entailed?
Of course. That's why you came with us, right? To learn what you couldn't at home.
Even in that time, I was well aware that what I was living was a lie. But at the same time, I also felt really compelled to fulfill my brother's wishes. I'll always remember him fondly. But the coexistence we're fighting for isn't for him. It's for people now, and those still to come. The world's bigger than just Menancia. My dream is for all Danans, wherever they might be, to be free. If I've learned anything on this journey, it's that. And the one who brought me along was you, Alphen. I'll forever be grateful to you.
Well, we're not out of this forest just yet. You should probably save your thanks. At least, until we've dealt with the Red Woman.
I know. But whatever we find when we get down there, I'm through looking the other way.
Kisara.
Probably getting a little ahead of myself, huh? Let's take things one step at a time.
Everyone wants to bone me. And yes, he can feel pain. He's just so used to Shion's thorns now that it doesn't faze him as much. He learned to get over the pain of Shion's thorns.
Is everyone about ready? We'll soon be making preparations to land.
Before we do that, just what exactly should we expect when we get down there?
Kisara has a point. Now that I think of it, I don't know the first thing about Lenegis.
I'd like to hear more too. It's been centuries since I was last there, and they didn't exactly give me the grand tour.
Very well. First and foremost, Lenegis was the base of operations in charge of the crown contest on Dana. Of course, it also happens to be a city in its own right, complete with its own independent society. Its social structure is based on a strict hierarchy. Put simply, the strength of an individual's astral arts carries great weight.
Enough to determine someone's social rank, you mean? But astral arts are innate, right? So people's positions are fixed at birth.
They can be honed with the right training, and there are admittedly other factors at play. But yes, that's basically the gist. As a result, family lines that churn out lords and their contenders wield disproportionate influence, and those lineages are treated as nobility.
Those capable of only weak astral arts are effectively an underclass, denied the right to descend to Dana even if they wanted to. Still, even the lowest rung on the Renin ladder is considered superior to being a Danan. Keep that in mind down there.
Thanks for the warning. As a lord, Dohalim must have been pretty high up in the pecking order, right? What about you, Shion?
Come on, you've seen her skill with astral arts. You really need to ask?
Fair point.
On arts alone, you're right. I'd have been sitting pretty. But you're forgetting my thorns. They weren't exactly an invitation to high society.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's refreshing to be around someone who says what they're thinking. Life's less complicated that way.
Jeez, give backhanded compliments much?
Wait a second. Are you? He is! Lost blushing!
I am not!
Of course, separating people into castes based on something arbitrary like arts is discrimination at its worst. As if such simplistic criteria could ever be a measure of someone's worth.
So this Red Woman, are we expecting to find her on Lenegis?
I would wager so. Lenegis is too deeply involved in all this to discard the possibility. Chances are she's also connected to the Rennis Alma being stolen from us in Pelegion.
If the Rennis Alma is being used to exploit Dana, we need to take it back at all costs.
That red woman's got a lot to answer for. Just as well I've got a ton of questions.
We're about to land. The descent could be a little bumpy, so brace yourselves.
If there are clues about your thorns out there, Shion, we'll find them. There's no one here. I wasn't expecting a welcome mat, but still.
Lenegis' infrastructure is largely automated. Besides, people won't be expecting incoming traffic while the crown contest is still underway.
Lenegis looks like a giant ship.
Do you think anyone realizes that we're here?
We may not have received a royal welcome, but I doubt our entrance went unnoticed. Don't let your guard down.
I really hope we don't have to fight anybody while we're here.
So now what? We've come all this way on a hunch that this red woman is here, right? And if we're lucky, the Rennis Alma too. Any idea where we should start looking?
There is an area of the city that is accessible only to the Sovereigns, known as the Forbidden Zone. That seems as good a place as any for us to start.
Forbidden? What are they hiding?
I don't know, hence my desire to find out. Fortunately, we just so happen to have a sovereign in our midst. In any case, changing the shape of a huge structure such as Lenegis would have required an immense source of power.
Then you think that source might have been the Rennis Alma?
Precisely. Alphen said that he remembered the Rennis Alma being used in the spirit channeling ceremony 3 centuries ago. Whatever the ceremony's purpose, if preparations are underway for it to be held once more, then the Rennis Alma might be in the same place as last time, possibly together with the Red Woman. Hiding something of that worth in the residential quarters would only court trouble. In which case...
It stands to reason we should be looking somewhere normally out of bounds. Is that it?
Indeed.
But it's been over 300 years since I was made a sovereign. You can't seriously think I'll be able to waltz right into the place after all this time.
There's only one way to find out. If there's even a chance you can get us in, I say we give it a shot.
Shion's right. Who knows? We might even find a clue to her thorns while we're at it.
All right. It's not like we're swimming in leads, so let's try to track down the Forbidden Zone. Beyond that wall lies a city full of Renins. The capital city where Shion and Dohalim used to live, no less.
Thinking about what could be lurking out here is giving me the heebie-jeebies.
For such a loudmouth, you sure can be a worrywart at times.
Oh, I'm sorry. How stupid of me for wanting us to stay safe.
Would you two children stop squabbling? Or do you want everyone to know we're here?
So how many Renins actually live in this place?
I couldn't tell you exactly, though not as many as you might expect. Machines and Zeugles take care of most of the city's basic functions.
There's Zeugles out here too, huh? Sounds like we can't afford to let our guard down after all.
Oh, okay. This place looks crazy.
What in the world?
This being Renin territory, I was prepared for a lot of things to look different. But this is a bit more than I anticipated.
The very foundations of the city have shifted. What could have caused this?
When the ship
When
transformed?
Lenegis changed shape,
Yeah.
it must have had an effect on the interior too.
Maybe when they sent the wedge down to Dana?
But they wouldn't move around the places where people live. These are their homes, right?
I would think the citizens themselves didn't have much say in the matter. Either way, locating the Forbidden Zone just became that much trickier.
Dohalim? Is that you?
He was recognized pretty quick.
Avakir, I'm glad to see you're well.
So it is you! But why are you here? Shouldn't you be down on Dana participating in the crown contest? And these people!
So you haven't heard what happened on Dana, then?
Heard what?
Someone you know?
An old friend.
Hey, Dohalim, don't tell me you've started keeping company with...
They're with me. More importantly, what's happened here?
I'm really not sure. The city's foundations began to shift without warning, and now everything looks like this. We're all waiting for the Sovereign to tell us what's happening, but so far...
Avakir, listen to me. We're looking for the Forbidden Zone. Do you have any idea where we might find it?
The Forbidden Zone? What business could you possibly have there?
Trust me. The less you know, the better.
You're just the same as ever. I wish I could help, but what with the changed topography, I can barely locate my own home. Let alone the Forbidden Zone.
Very well. It looks like we'll have to find the way there ourselves.
Have you seen Faria yet?
No.
I see. Well, nothing much has changed with her. If anything, she's probably even more...
I can well imagine.
Why did you come back? You know it can only result in pain for you both.
I've no doubt of that.
You really are the same as ever. Fine, I understand. Just don't say I didn't warn you. And take care of yourself. Okay, Doe?
So who's Faria?
That's right. That was my first question. Sister, waifu.
If what Avakir said is true, it would seem the people of Lenegis are being kept in the dark about what's happening down on Dana.
They seem to be just as clueless about what's going on up here in their own world. Despite the fact that it's actually here that the wedge originally came from.
We need more information. Let's talk to the citizens, see what we can find out.
While we're at it, we can ask them about the Red Woman, too.
And don't forget about finding the way to the Forbidden Zone either.
Let's leave the talking to Shion. We can't have a bunch of Danans poking their noses around.
Good idea. I think that's for the best.
I shall assist.
You sure?
Being a lord on Lenegis has its advantages.
Right. Then we'll leave it to you two. The Danans among us should probably keep our heads down.
What if people freak out?
I shall explain it away by saying I'm leading you.
What are we, dogs?
What could be so important? It's worth destroying people's livelihoods and homes in the process. It's just... unbelievable. Uprooting an entire city as if it were mere building blocks. Someone's got an awful lot of questions to answer.
From how it looks, they must be siphoning off astral energy from Dana, and then sending it to Rena.
But why do all this? What for? Surely they can't be using all that energy for the crown contest.
Whatever their purpose, disrupting their siphoning process alone won't be sufficient. Not while we still don't know what their endgame is.
He's right. We need to stop this from happening ever again.
This Forbidden Zone might be where we find some answers, right? So what are we waiting for? Let's get moving!
You heard him. We don't have time to stop and chat. Let's move.
Is this a planet or a ship? I don't even know. I can't tell. It looks like a ship to me. But then you have grass. And homes are built on metal? I don't get it. It seems hard.
So, I've been wondering, do you think when Lenegis was built, it was even made with people living here in mind?
What do you mean?
Well, none of this happened by coincidence, right? They must have designed it to transform like this. But then, if they knew people were going to live here, you'd think they would have taken that into consideration to avoid all this chaos.
Ordinarily, yes. You'd think so. Trust me, as far as we were concerned, Lenegis was our home, nothing more. No one knew about all this. It makes you wonder whether the city was just built on as an afterthought. But if so, to what exactly?
Sorry, that probably sounded weird, huh?
Not at all. Sometimes it takes an outsider's eye to help you notice what you've been missing all along. This place is a mystery, that's for sure. Something tells me we'll find answers where we're going, though.
Yeah, you're right, Shion. I'm sure we will.
Oh, dear me. What an unspeakable mess this has all become. Just look at the state of our city. Even the Zeugles have stopped heeding our commands. Whatever did we do to deserve this?
You really have no clue what might have caused this?
Let's say a Nort.
Would that I have. Alas, there was no warning, no prior decree. His Highness must have deemed it unnecessary for us to know. We have no choice but to grin and bear it. But do my eyes deceive me? Could I really be standing in the presence of his lordship, Dohalim of the House Ilkaris? I believed he was on Dana.
Your eyes do not deceive you. It is I, one and the same. I have returned to fulfill a special duty, the details of which I cannot divulge.
As your lordship wishes. First Lenegis mutates beyond recognition, now this unexpected visit. The Sovereign's plans are inscrutable indeed. The Ilkaris house has produced a great many lords over the centuries. I shall be praying for your victory in the latest crown contest.
Your good wishes do me an honor.
Strawberries. I don't think they have strawberries in Danon. A lot of CP, but sure. In all my years, never have I seen such potent heal arts. Thank you so much for taking the time to help a woman like me. Nice.
Everything will be okay now.
I know the basics of healing arts, but my skills pale in comparison.
It's a weird lamppost.
Your lordship. Oh, what a great honor it is to finally meet you. I descended to Dana during the last crown contest also. Alas, when the contender I was backing failed to clinch the title, I returned. I witnessed the deaths of so many slaves.
Indeed.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're looking for a woman dressed all in red. Have you seen anyone of that description?
All red, eh? No, I can't say I remember anyone like that. I imagine she'd stand out somewhat, too.
Yeah. What about down on Dana during the crown contest? You didn't see anyone like that hanging around the Lord you were serving?
What's with all these questions? I've never seen her, okay? Not recently or otherwise. Why do you want to find her anyway?
Never mind. Forget I asked. Sorry to take up your time. Is everything okay? You look a little lost.
Hmm? Oh, yes. I can't seem to find my way home, is all. I was just about to make my umpteenth attempt at a new route.
I was hoping to head this way myself. The situation is a real pain, huh?
I suppose the Sovereign knows best. I daren't stay here too long, though. A lower caste can only linger around these parts for so long before I outstay my welcome. I was hoping to avoid it, but maybe I'll have to go that way after all.
You mean you know another way round?
Lord Dohalim Ilkaris! But how? Last I heard, you were in Dana competing in the crown contest.
Yes, strange, isn't it? If you know another route, we'd be grateful if you could tell us.
But of course. Please forgive me. There's a wall that sprung up ahead of here, with what looks to be an entrance in it. I thought maybe it was a passageway between the different quarters, but I've no way of knowing for sure.
It's worth investigating, at least. I shall go and assess the situation. In the meantime, wait for me here. If it looks safe, I'll come and let you know.
You'd really do that for me? A lord troubling himself for someone of my lowly status?
Our lot in life is of little consequence. We are both Renan, first and foremost.
Oh, why yes, my lord. Thank you.
Well, we've canvassed the city for information. What do you think?
No one has the faintest idea what's happened to the city after all. They haven't heard the news about the crown contest either.
You'd think that info would easily find its way up here. Has it always been like that?
Not to this extent. Which would indicate that something's suppressing the truth. That Lenegis is under some kind of control.
I thought there'd be like big ass
Given everything that's
TVs
happened to their city,
showing on what's
people
going
here
on
seem
for the
weirdly okay
games.
with it all.
Yeah, that one guy even said his Zoogle had stopped listening to him. If that's true, these people are in big trouble.
Everything that happens here is attributed to the Sovereign's will. It's the way people have been conditioned. Their belief runs deep. Nothing happens devoid of a reason. To them, it's all part of the Sovereign's grand plan.
The Sovereign's plan. There is one thing I'm still not sure about. Just who is this person ruling over Lenegis?
The Sovereign, of course. He rules from Rena while presiding over both Rena and Lenegis.
Without the lords or anyone in the middle doing his dirty work? Isn't Rena at least the same size as Dana? That's a pretty big dominion for one person to rule over. I would have thought ruling Lenegis alone would be difficult enough.
The points you make are valid, though I confess I'd never given it much thought before. Here, the Sovereign's total authority is as natural as night turning to day. Come to think of it, I know nothing of the nature of how Rena itself is. Shion, have you ever been... No, forgive me. Have you met or crossed paths with, or even heard of someone who's actually made a visit to the homeland?
No, I haven't.
Neither have I. In which case, I would imagine that... But no, surely not. Can it really be that no citizen of Lenegis has ever been there?
Hold up, what are you getting at, Dohalim?
Assuming what I believe to be correct, it's possible that no one on Lenegis has ever laid eyes on the actual Renan homeworld itself. No one but the Sovereign, that is.
But what about trade and communication? There's got to be a flow back and forth, surely.
Not if the Sovereign is imposing his will on Lenegis single-handedly. It could be a one-way street.
But I thought you said that the Sovereign's all the way over on Rena. If that's the case, can he really rule directly over Lenegis from so far away? What if something were to happen to the city, like now?
I'm beginning to wonder what the nature of this Sovereign even is. Alphen said he was forced into the role, right? Just before the ceremony. But Sovereign is also the title given to the almighty Renan ruler. So which one is it?
Whoever wins the crown contest inherits the throne from his or her predecessor, before becoming ruler over all of Rena and Lenegis. Thereafter, that individual is known as the Sovereign. Though, it would appear that the current ruler has gone silent. As for how Volron factors into all this, at this point, I no longer know what to believe.
3 centuries ago, I became the Sovereign here on Lenegis. No, not just became, I was forced to. Me, a Danon. 300 years later, we cross paths with Volron, who also bears the Sovereign's crest. That's not the only thing we have in common. We both became Sovereign without winning the crown contest.
Do you think Volron was made Sovereign for the same reason? Because of that ceremony?
I can't say for sure, but it certainly sounds like it.
But that would mean that 2 sovereigns would need to exist at any one time. One whose job it is to rule, and the other for ceremonial purposes. We never did see Volron's body back in Ganath Haros. Is a new ceremony underway with Volron at its center this time? Could that be what's causing all this strange activity here?
Wait a second. You don't think Volron and the Red Woman are working together, do you? The ceremony can't go forward without the Renis Alma. The same one that the Red Woman stole.
There's something else the ceremony needs. A maiden. And unless there's another one out there aside from me...
Questions, questions, and yet more questions. Ones that it seems will remain unanswered, until we can establish the Sovereign's identity.
If the Forbidden Zone really is off-limits to everyone but the Sovereign, that seems as good a place as any to start. For the sake of liberating Dana, too.
Then it's decided. That's where we need to go.
One of the citizens mentioned a passage that she thought might lead to another section of the city. It could point us in the right direction. Let's go find it! I didn't realize Renans oppressed their own kind, too.
And yet, weirdly, none of them seem to mind. Am I the only one who finds that strange?
It is the way things have always been, so no one thinks to question it. You have experience in that regard yourself, do you not?
Unquestioning acceptance of your own servitude. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Even so, the quality of life here seems much higher than any Danon city we visited. I used to think it was impossible to build an ideal society without wealth. But I suppose having it doesn't always mean people are treated fairly either.
More to the point, not a single citizen seems to have even heard of the Red Woman.
What if she's not here? What if it turns out we're looking in the wrong place entirely?
It's still too early to say anything for sure.
For all we know, she might be able to blend in, move around unnoticed. I say we hold off judgment until we've exhausted every avenue.
Tell me, Dohalim, has that skill of yours got a name?
And what skill would this be, pray tell?
You know, when you're talking to people around town. The way they suddenly become putty in your hands.
I'm afraid I don't quite follow.
I do. It's called friendly intimidation. Look imposing and speak in a deep, booming voice, and presto, you'll have people wrapped around your finger in no time.
I would never stoop to such scandalous tricks. Any feelings of intimidation are solely in the eye of the beholder.
So there is a knack to it! How do you learn it? Can anyone do it?
Now you've got me curious. Is there special training to master?
Let's see. An obsession with being elegant is a must. Oh, and it helps to be old-fashioned, too. Bonus points if you speak in a way no one can understand.
If you've a bone to pick with me, it'd be quicker to just come out and say it.
What? They look up to you, that's all. I'm just helping them along.
Hey! What's got into Alphen and Law all of a sudden?
I can barely understand a word they're saying. And what's with the weird poses? Was it something they ate?
I hope you're willing to take the blame for this one.
I wasn't expecting them to take me so seriously. I'll go and have a word with them.
With nobody left to run the show, I wonder what the people here are supposed to do. I mean, there's sovereigns up on the Renan homeworld. and all their lords were sent to Dana.
But Dohalim was a lord, right?
Only current acting lords have power. Renan society is quite strict about such matters.
Even if the other lords were still around, I doubt they'd be able to do much about the situation.
I wonder what they'd think if they were here to see Lenegis now. Balsif, Ganabelt, Almadria, and Volron. Now that I think of it, aside from Dohalim, we know next to nothing about the other lords.
Well, yeah, why would we? To us Danans, they were just enemies we needed to overthrow. Nothing more.
I know. But seeing Renans in their own city, going about their day-to-day lives, it gets you thinking.
It feels strange to imagine the lords living here too, you mean?
Yeah, a little.
If you're that curious about them, why not try inquiring with some of the locals? Every lord in their household has their share of supporters here on Lenegis. And luckily for us, the people here are unaware of the events on Dana, which means they should be more inclined to talk to us.
Renans and their lords. Talk to people who support the lords. You wanna know which lord I support? Why? Are you out conversing for someone? I'm with His Excellency, Urwasli Teldili. You probably know him better as Lord Balsif. I know a lot of people consider him a giant brute, believe me. I realize he can be an aggressive man. What those people don't realize is how much he looks after the members of his house. It's fair to say that House Teldilis doesn't enjoy much esteem. Those of us who serve it will be the first to admit that. But His Excellency always stands up against any who would mean us any harm. Of that we can be sure. His efforts in the crown contest aren't only for his family, but to improve the standing of each and every member of his house. I owe so much of His Excellency, I could never dream of serving any other lord. Well, guess what? He is dead.
Balsef had it in him to care about someone other than himself? Really?
It's possible. A change in position can do much to alter one's perspective.
So even he might have had something he wanted to protect.
Lord Dollaham, you have returned. Ah, and I see you have brought aside your allies. Do you remember who I am, my lord? Surely you must, yes? Not only do I support House Ilkaris, but more specifically his lordship personally. So much so, I've been trying to share my appreciation of his lordship to any who will listen. In fact, I was planning to publish my extensive writings on the subject through his very terminal for all to read and enjoy. But since the lines appear to be cut due to the recent tumult, I've been unable to upload them. I know, since you're all here, I'll just read them all out. There exists a most handsome man, a man who radiates beauty, whose every word, every syllable is divine poetry. He hails from the famed house Ilkaris, and his name Lord Dollaham. Music is his passion. The arts is great love. The scores of boorish, uncouth men of this land cannot begin to compare to his magnificence. So refined and majestic his posture, why, the mere thought of it brings me to ecstasy. Once he becomes our sovereign, Reno shall bloom anew, ushering in an era of prosperity for our grand civilization. Until that glorious day comes, I shall forever be praying for his victory, morning, noon, and night. Well, what did you think of my lord? I poured my whole heart into it, in hoping to capture your essence. Wait, I forgot to mention anything about his lordship's love for collecting things. I must take this time while the lines are down to append it. Only then will a masterpiece be complete. She's obsessed.
I guess she intended to spread it throughout all of Lenegis then.
Good thing the lines were down so she couldn't.
It almost sounded like she was praising them too.
Maybe there was more to the guy than at first glance.
I shall refrain from commenting.
Well, I never to think anyone would try to tear me away from House Valkyries. What do you want? Don't tell me you work for Lord Dorlaham or that dreadful Lord Almadria, do you? You don't? Well, don't scare me like that. To answer your question, I come from a family that has served House Valkyries for generations. Indeed, I'm going all I can to support Lord Ganabel behind the scenes so that he might emerge victorious. Many think him to be a cruel man, but I insist they're utterly mistaken. Though I won't deny he can be strict. He puts Rena's interests front and center like no one else. Why, he advocates that rather than stay confined to Lenegis, he should get on with colonizing Dana and expand our horizons. That way we will become masters of both worlds and overturn our current minority status on Dana's surface. That is why he seeks to become our next sovereign. Tell me, is there a greater or more noble ambition than that? I think no. It is pursuit of power for the advancement of our kind. It is what makes him exemplary lord, a model above all others. Though I was unable to accompany him myself, my two sons have been blessed with the honor of joining him on the surface. As their father, it fills me with endless pride.
Ganabelt was so horrible to people, yet he was invested in helping Rena succeed. Doesn't that seem just a little inconsistent?
I'm perhaps biased in this matter, I admit. However, in my mind, while all lords vie to become the next sovereign, they're also meant to serve as guardians of all of Rena.
It seems like Ganabelt also had people he cared about until the very end.
So
Let's keep it single. I don't believe you. Bum, 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 bum. Is it real or are they trolling? 5 hours ago? September 15th, today. I wonder why. It's pretty crazy. I've never really seen them like argue. They have like little moments when they're in the same room together. He wants Pokemon. No, him and Pokemon are friends. Pokemon already admitted she wouldn't want to date like a famous streamer. He does podcasts with her, and she said something about not wanting to like date any like big top streamers. So you have a chance, Vinny.
This area doesn't look as badly damaged as that other district we went through.
Indeed. The effects of Lenegis' transformation appear to be less pronounced here. Or, viewed another way, this area was simply luckier.
Pardon me.
This area falls under the sole jurisdiction of House Canaris. I must ask you to depart at once. Surely you don't claim to be ignorant of our famed house, ruled over by the esteemed Lord Almadria. If so, I urge you to listen well. In fact, I bid you listen carefully regardless. Have you ever noticed how in the history of Lenegis, only a few women lords have emerged to compete in the crown contest? Many have theories as to why this might be. It is so true. About them breaking up? No, just the first one got me. Video game stores then versus gaming stores now. Yeah. It's not about games no more. It's cause especially at GameStop. GameStop is weird now. Mike worked at GameStop. They being a good worker is like not even like a thing at GameStop. You get praised at GameStop and like rewarded based off how many pre-orders you get, how many pre-orders you are able to make people pre-order. If you're not selling enough people to pre-order games, you get fired. So you kind of have to be like a salesman. But the games are not enough to keep the business open anymore, I guess. They had to sell toys and like, I think now they sell like iPods, or they're taking old stuff and they try to refurnish and sell them back or something like that. iPod CDs, well, back when CD players were a thing, they were taking those, I think, at the very end. She also removed her older brother to claim the seat for herself. She is a woman who stops at nothing to get what she wants, who gives her enemies nary the slightest opening to strike. Truly, Lord Almadrea is a woman of talent. No one in all Rena better exemplifies the virtues of our nation's meritocracy. These people have no idea, or they just don't give a shit that how many people these guys have killed on Danon. But it seems like, and they have no idea that they're dead right now. It's kind of weird. But it almost makes them seem like the lords weren't really bad people. They were just, they were toys in the game. They're just pieces. Soon the age of glorious woman sovereign reigning over Lenegis shall be upon us at last. You don't pre-order shit.